Wait a minute, didn't I already play against Turok? I already played against Turok, I thought. Or did I? Or maybe I didn't. I don't know. So, kind of looks like a similar deck to what I might have been playing against before. Okay, this is... Okay, this is alright. Keep this. Okay, turn 2 Chlorophyllia is not too bad, I guess. It's not amazing. We at least have some removal if we draw a Ruby Shard. Servant deck! Oh boy, and he drew it! Oh, that's... Hopefully I can draw the removal for it. Well, I know what I'm siding in. Oh, there's the Heat Wave. Alright, cool. So hopefully he plays like another Servant here and I can double 2-for-1 Heat Wave him. Turok, the Dinosaur Hunter. Yes, he's playing another one. And he's stalled on resources, so this must be in an amazing spot right now. That he just... that happened. Yes, 5-minute delay. So we will definitely Heat Wave here. Well, I think I can hold out. Maybe I can hold out one more turn. No, I can Chlorophyllia and Heat Wave. No, I don't want to do that. I'll just Chlorophyllia here. I'm going to wait to see if he's got one more. 4 damage isn't too bad when he's stalled on resources. The only other thing is, like, if he plays like the thing that buffs him, then I'm in trouble. But he's stalled on resources, so hopefully everything will be fine. Yes, plays a 3rd one. Awesome. Sweet. That is, like, amazing. That is freaking awesome. For me, not for him, obviously. So we'll go ahead and Heat Wave his board state here. Of course, he still has 5 cards in hand, but he hasn't been dropping shards, so he should be stalled out here. So Heat Wave the board state. And draw. We can't play our Infusion device this turn, but next turn it'll open up Ragefire, so we'll be able to remove other cards that he has. Blow me out with Heat Wave, yep. Yeah. He should have played Superiority. Well, he couldn't because he didn't draw the resource. If he had played Superiority, then that would have been a big problem. So it was pretty risky of me to do what I just did there. I wouldn't suggest people do that. It's not for the faint of heart, we'll put it that way. Definitely not for the faint of heart. So Hex Engine seems fine here. Whoa, something crazy just happened. Something just pulled me out of my client. Ruby Shard. Except it must have been like a Internet Explorer thing. So I want to save these Ragefires to remove his troops. This is another matchup where we're going to side out our Crash Beast in game 2. Because it's definitely not going to do very much versus him. Okay, so he's got Mentalist. Ugh. That 3 back end. Although we can just kill it with our champion power, so we'll just do that. That 3 back end. And we get to draw a card off of Infusion device. Ooh, but there's a Jadiim, so that's pretty good. So yeah, we'll just take care of this Mentalist now. Because he can tempo me, and I don't want him drawing cards off of anything that this thing can buff. So I just don't want to deal with it. The buff is too much for me to accept. It's not acceptable. But it's usually better to be able to kind of wait, like, if it was just a vanilla 2-3, then I can play Jadiim, and then if he tempos it, I take 2 damage. It's not a big deal. But, yeah, like there, Buccaneer. Yeah, Buccaneer getting that buff would have been just not acceptable. Yep. Jadiim getting Buccaneered all day. It's fine. Just Ragefire the Buccaneer, replay Jadiim. She's fine with it. She knows it was coming. She's flying around, flying around. She's like, I'm going to fly back into your hand. Flying around. Yeah, we just Ragefire that guy. Replay our Jadiim here. He's a good game. I guess he didn't have a response for Jadiim there, so... Or he wasn't planning on drawing any more tempo. If he kept tempoing Jadiim eventually, he might have gotten it. So we're going to go Wrathwood Colossus like we did last time. Pull our Heavy Welding Bot. Pull out all of the Crash the Beasts. Slot in Burns, because those will deal with some of the early stuff. I don't know if I need that, but Turbulence seems pretty decent in this matchup. I don't know if I need, like, a lot of Turbulence here. Argus is probably not that great in this matchup either, so another Turbulence. Tetalca's fine. I might be able to get rid of one of these Infusion devices for another Turbulence. I don't think I need Chaos Key. I think this should be good. I really don't care about his buff. I'm just going to kill his stuff. So his buff isn't enough where I want to side in Nature's Reigns, I don't think. And I'm on game 2 with I'm 1 game up. We're going to game 2, so I feel pretty good about this. And yes, this is perfectly fine. So we will open up with Ruby, as we have 2 Chlorophyllias to fill in our wild shards. We'll keep this. Lots of ramp. Not all, you know, we only have 1 removal, so that's the downfall of this hand. But we'll see. Opens up with an early servant, so I guess I'll just burn it right off the bat. Yeah, because I can still Chlorophyllia, so I'll just burn it right now. Guys, you're being too loud. Too loud. Guys, go downstairs or something. Too loud. Too loud. He's in Ruby. Didn't even know he was in Ruby until now. Is he mulled a 6? I can't even tell.
Downstairs and watch those downstairs. Can be choreographed downstairs. Downstairs?
Yeah, lay it downstairs. Downstairs is where the downstairs is.
Downstairs.
There's servant, so I can't deal with this one, so he's going to run amok for a little while.
Alright.
Need to play a Ruby Shard here, and then Chlorophyllia, deck thin a little bit. I guess I don't need to do that. Okay. Really doesn't matter that much. So we'll just Chlorophyllia here to deck thin. And I guess I'll play my Shards of Fate because I don't have really that much to do right now. And I guess I'll go with Ruby or Wild. It doesn't matter. I've got the threshold met for the deck. Next turn I can play the Hex Engine, kill his servant with my champion power. That'll be somewhat helpful. I mean, even if he plays his buff, I can deal with servant. So, yeah. So even with that, I can. He gets 3 damage in here, and then I kill it by playing a Hex Engine and then champion power. Unless he plays something that's more problematic. I kind of wonder about the consistency of his deck and like what else he's running in there. Okay, there's a Heat Wave. So Heat Wave is less useful now, unfortunately, because he's got air superiority up. But he didn't play any troops yet. He's got 3. I think we're doing okay here. We also get to play another Hex Engine, so that's always nice. So double Hex Engine in the same turn. uber ramped. So we can play pretty much everything in the deck now. We can even play Wrathwood Colossus if we draw it. 47 cards. We've drawn 6 of the resources out of it. 6 and we have 7. So hopefully we don't top deck shards for the rest of the game. It looks like he's stalled. He doesn't have threats now, so that's always good for us. Another Hex Engine, which we probably should have sided out. So I guess we'll just play it out. Might as well. I mean, that just makes our burn to the ground bigger. That's all that's doing for us, really. And we could have held on to it and tossed it if we drew our library, secret lab. Okay, so we can't deal with this guy, and he can give it flying to make it bigger and make it tougher for us to deal with. So that guy might actually be a problem for us for a while if we don't draw troops. And we've got some time to do it, but not a lot. Okay, Vitae will help us a little bit because we can cantrip through. Also gives us a charge. Come on, give me something. Something good. No, that is not something good. Oh, I have to play this shard. We need to keep building up our charge power so we can deal. If we have to, we can use our charge power on this Mentalist. Unfortunately, Heat Wave is not going to do what we need it to do here because it's got 3 toughness on the back end. We're a little bit behind on our clock as well, so not surprised. He gives this guy flying, makes it tougher for me to deal with. Now I have to double Heat Wave it or get Chimes in play and then Heat Wave. I think the Wrathwood Colossus would help, though. It'd be very funny for me to play like Wrathwood Colossus versus this deck because he's gonna, tempo things and then I just gain life back. All right, so we have to 2-for-1 this guy to deal with him. I hate having to do this, but I don't think I want to deal with this guy any longer. So he's got 4 resources. There's a chance he could counter here or return his guy to his hand. Yeah, time ripple his guy to his hand, sure. That does save me a turn at least. That's unfortunate, but kind of had to do it. So, kind of 2-for-1'd his time ripple, or rather, his time ripple 2-for-1'd me. But kind of had to do it. It's unfortunate. Yep, replays his Mentalist. Sure. This is as big as ever, but it saves me a turn of damage. You get something good. More spells, please. Chlorophyllia. That kind of helps. Gets me closer to my champion power, being able to kill him. Deck thins me. Got 9 resources out of 24, so there's another. There's a Thunderbird. Yep, that's another one we need to have removal for. Thunderbird gets out of hand pretty quickly. So it's to my advantage to try to play past priorities as fast as possible because I really have nothing to do with my board state right now. Alright, so I can kill the Thunderbird, which I think is the better play here. I don't want to kill this Mentalist over the Thunderbird because it's going to get out of hand a lot more easily. I mean, I do have more things that answer Thunderbird in the deck, but Thunderbird's going to get, like, it's 3 on the next turn anyways, and then it's 4. And it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So now we've played 10 shards out of the 24, so there's only 14 left out of 40 cards. So odds are pretty good. I should be drawing spells. Hopefully they're good spells, not spells like Chlorophyllia. Trying to stay ahead on my clock. Okay, he's gonna play a Buccaneer to increase my, or decrease the amount of time I have to play the game. Turbulence. I'm going to Turbulence this guy now because he can't counter it. Although he could tempo his guy again. Okay, so that's good. So there we go. And I just need to draw removal for this Buccaneer or start getting some sort of board state going again. He does have a lot of card advantage on me though. At least seemingly. I mean, he isn't playing a lot of the cards in his hand. Yep, taking me down to 2. I've got another 4 turns with the current board state. Yes. I kind of have to play into this counter magic if he's got it. Yep, he's got it. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. He's in a good board state now. I mean, if all he's got is counter magic left, I mean, that's pretty good for him. It would have been nice to see that Wrathwood Colossus hit the board, but I had to play it there. There's no way I could have held on to it because then I basically used it to draw out the counter magic there. That's all I could do with it. Draw cards, play cards. All right, so I can burn his face for not enough, right? Because I've got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 minus 1 is 15 damage. So we're just going to burn to the ground his Buccaneer. That's unfortunate, but kind of have to do it. See if he's got another counter magic for it. Nope. Okay, so top deck mode maybe for both of us. It's 3 cards in hand. It's quite a lot. I've got 37 cards. I've deck thinned a little bit more than he has. Air superiority? Sure. That's really good for me. Again, these are dead cards if he doesn't have troops in play, so just like my Hex Engines are dead cards when I don't have anything to do with them. Play the Ruby Shard because I need to make sure I can remove things. It's unfortunate because I'd rather bluff with it, or toss it to like Secret Lab. It'd be nice if one of these Hex Engines was Secret Lab. That would help out a lot. Nope, top deck mode for both of us, so it's like who top decks something first. No, another shard, okay. So it's only so many shards left. 6, I've got 12 out of 20. So there's only 12 shards left in the deck now. So that's, you know, less than 50% of the, more than 50% of the time I should be drawing a spell. Not that time though. Try to pass turns as quickly as possible. Saving my clock. Another air superiority for him. It's kind of getting intense right now. I mean, he doesn't... obviously, he doesn't have anything, otherwise he would have played it. Another Ruby Shard. So I'll have removal in another shard. If I draw in one more shard, I'll have removal for his next card. Although, 3 air superiorities up, there's a chance that it's going to be... its back end will be out of range. Very good chance. He draws a shard. There's Jadiim. Let's see if he can counter this. Nope, she's in. She's in there. So 4-turn clock now, unless he can deal with Jadiim. Plays a Vet Gladiator. That might be it for me, unless let's see, unless I draw removal for it. Gives it flying to block. No, oh, to make it a 6/5. Okay. That's also really difficult for me to remove. Shard is not going to do it though. I'm just 1 point short of being able to do anything, so I guess that's good games. We'll go to game 3 here, so I'll just pass priorities. I might as well attack. He's not going to block. And come on, there we go. So go to game 3 here. I think I'm going to pull a Hex Engine out. Just had just the right cards to deal with me, and top deck to, yep. Because like his Veteran Gladiator makes it so my Jadiim couldn't block him anyways. So just never, just didn't get enough. I'm guessing he's playing with a playset of... you know, I could play with though. I can play with Winds of Change. Yeah, that would be fun with this matchup. And get rid of Hex Engine. Yeah, get rid of that. Chimes is fine. Everything else should be fine. I think we're fine with this. Nature's Reigns. I mean, I guess I could put one in there. I mean, it did kind of hose me a little bit. I guess I'll side in one. I don't want to get too crazy here. And get rid of a fusion device. Save. Confirm. Go. So Eternal Guardian and Argus are decent, but the thing is, like, he just bounces Eternal Guardian and wins anyway. So I want things where if he bounces them, it's a, you know, not the greatest. Play first. Okay, so good opening hand here. Keep this hand. We've got removal. We've got 2 removal cards, which is pretty strong. He's mulling to 6, so that's good for us. I think he's looking for his turn 1 servant. He's mulling to 5. That's even better for us. Mull to 5, and we'll be going first. So we will open up with Ruby here. So we've got the Chlorophyllias in hand. Accept. Pass turn. We've got plenty of time for this final game. I mean, we've got 40 minutes to complete this game. My clock's a little bit behind his, but not by too much. I'm about a minute 20 behind him. So we'll play the Wild Shard here and play the Chlorophyllia. Wild Shard, Chlorophyllia. We might actually get to play Chimes this game, and that is kind of exciting. So we got Burn for his early drop, although he didn't have his turn 1 servant, so most of his stuff, his troops have a 2-point back end, so Burn should be pretty good for that. Yeah, it's not looking good for him right now. Okay, I get to play another Chlorophyllia here. Actually, I get to double Chlorophyllia here. Resolve, and then next turn I can play Chimes freely. Well, no, I can't. I'm 1 shard away from playing Chimes next turn. I can still burn his guy if he drops a guy. So draw 1 more shard and I can play Chimes. Which will make Heat Wave much better for me. It's like he doesn't have plays now. He's stuck at 2 shards. So that's good for me as well. I can't play Chimes yet. Yeah. So it looks like I'm going to get to play Chimes freely here. He can't counter when he doesn't have Sapphire, and most of his deck runs on Sapphire, so he's just in a really bad board state right now. Go ahead and throw that out there. Also, the neat thing about Chimes in this deck is now my champion ability can deal 7 damage to something. That's pretty good. So I have the Heat Wave sweep, so I need to wait for him to overextend here. I also have Burn, which deals 4 points of damage now, so we're just kind of like... I'm kind of in top deck mode right now, so he has some time to recover, but I mean, if I top deck a threat like Jadiim, that could be game time for him. Yeah, it looks like he's just in a bad board state right now. Although most of my stuff just was spent ramping, so it's not such a big deal yet. Except, I'll go ahead and sack this thing now to see what I draw into. Okay, I did not play a Ruby Shard yet, so we'll go ahead and pass the turn. Yeah, he's just, this is a non-game really at this point. I mean, he could still come back though, so I do have to stay on my toes and play this properly. I mean, I'm still in top deck mode, I have no threats. So it's still kind of anyone's game, but I mean, he's sort of pretty far behind here. Okay, so there's Ragefire, so I'm just going to go ahead and Ragefire his face now. So I can double Ragefire here. I have removal otherwise, so I'm not too worried about it. So that's 6 damage, and that throws a... Actually, like, it copies the card, and so now I have 5 Ragefires in my deck, so I have a better chance to draw it. I think. I'm pretty sure that is how it works. But he's still not like within lethal, so there's no reason for me to try to burn his face here. And I'm still top decking shards, just like I have been like most of the day. Doesn't really matter what I pick right now because I don't need. I've got all my thresholds met, and there's nothing, like I said before, with thresholds that does anything super special for me. Looks like he's still looking for that shard. Now I've got more removal. So now if he plays 2 flyers, I can double Turbulence. So the board state's getting worse for him. I'm getting more removal. Like I can burn 2 things, or I can burn 1 thing twice. Counter magic, yeah. Ragefire, so we'll just Ragefire him again here. So I think this might be enough. Let me think. Yeah, that's kind of like good game, I think. 'Cause that's... Yeah, that's... Yep, there we go. Good games, yep. So there you go. Well, that's unfortunate for him, but... Them's the breaks, you know. That's why it is that it's really good to have like a 60% rating is considered to be really good when you're playing cards. For games like that, when it's just nothing you can do about it. And so there's no reason to feel bad about that type of a game. I mean, it's going to happen to everyone. It's happened to me plenty of times. So